Hi, this is Jim Seimas.
And Andrew Matheson for double coverage, our 1 year anniversary.
Happy anniversary, this is great!
1 year ago, not today, but
Close
probably around this time.
It was last Jamboree.
It was the last Jamboree. It was our first double coverage episode. Yeah. It was pretty bad. I had hair. You didn't.
Yeah.
Now it's reversed, and I hate you.
Oh, sorry, you're taller.
But yeah, 1 year anniversary. Let's get to it. The 2013 Jamboree just wrapped up Friday night at Cabrillo College. What was your biggest takeaway? What surprised you? What stood out for this upcoming season?
Santa Cruz passed a lot better. Santa Cruz, the champion, to give them their due, passed a lot better than I thought they would.
Yeah.
I watched them for an hour at practice, roughly. They didn't pass like that.
No.
And they were working on it, but they didn't pass like that.
And I spoke with Joe Gregorio afterward. I asked him what was his takeaway from some of the teams, and I wasn't expecting all this passing.
Yeah.
Santa Cruz came out throwing the ball. I was expecting run. Drake Fennelly, the quarterback, was going left and right with throws, which
he was 20 of 28 in one session against Peavy.
Really?
Yeah. It seems like an awful lot of passes, more than plays.
20 of 28?
That's the numbers they gave me. So that might have been overall. They played him twice, apparently, on offense, right? So
sure.
That makes more sense. But, that's a lot of passing.
Yeah. And I remember Eddie Moreno. That's another name that stood out to me. Wide receiver. He had two unbelievable catches. One was like a one-handed thing where I think he had a defender on, and then one was down the left sideline. And he kind of curled around his defender and caught the ball. I don't even know if he could see the ball, but he caught it.
Yeah.
And he sprinted down for like a 65-yard touchdown. So
and
he was impressive.
One of their unsung heroes, right?
Sure.
And he hasn't got a lot of ink like some like Ashton Davis, Alex Morris, or Dale Stoller, all of whom scored as well.
Yeah, Moreno, by the way, 5'6", 145. So maybe they just lost him on the field. I don't know, but he was impressive and could pull it with breakaway speed down the left sideline.
This stuff's always misleading, though. The champion of the Jamboree doesn't always fare well in league for whatever reason. Sometimes they do. Aptos took second this year.
Sure.
And that's not to take anything away. It's not a good indicator. You know, PV ran the same defense in every single play.
Yeah.
So, but it's hard to judge. But another thing that impressed me, like you said, a lot of these teams can pass. SLV, Harbor. Harbor impressed the heck out of me.
Yeah. We're still breaking down the teams. We'll have a Harbor preview, but in that preview, I believe we are both on the bandwagon for Milo Small.
Yeah.
Then, before the Jamboree.
It's on record.
You're gonna have to, it's on record, even though it's going to come out after the Jamboree. But yeah, we both love Milo Small. I remember him last year. He was fantastic. You could see he was developing. He just had a whole off season. I had no idea what he did, but he looks fantastic.
Well, here's the thing: is like what I saw in practice. He has a very quick release. He has a strong arm. He could get it done with a makeshift offensive line. Well, that offensive line didn't look so makeshift out there on Friday night at Cabrillo. They actually ran the ball a little bit. You know they were getting blocking. They had good pass blocking. It looked like it. They looked like a pretty decent team to me.
Yeah, and they really went after it. First play. Milo Small to Mark Hessen down the left, Mac Hessen,
Big Mac Hessen.
65-yard touchdown right on the first play, a bomb.
How do you get an encore to that? How about 3 plays later?
Love it.
He runs up and it goes 1 yard longer, 64 yards.
Yeah, and I remember I tweeted, before that even started, watch out for Milo Small, and he, bam, right on the first play. It was great.
Well, good job, Jeff Cox, for trying to hide him. Didn't list him under top returners. Well, he is a junior, actually. But... You know, I asked the players, who's the guy to watch, and they all said Mac.
Yeah.
And wow.
By the way, we caught up with Jeff Cox after the Jamboree to talk about Milo's, passing game during Friday night's Jambo.
Just curious, tell us about the offense. I know Milo was throwing on all cylinders, it seemed like. How do you think he did?
I think he did well. It was good. He couple touchdowns early, and that's always nice. And he got the confidence rolling. He got some more completions, and we were happy.
And that first play against Peavy's defense, he went deep and got the 65-yard touchdown. Was that? Do you guys do that? We're going to do that either way, or is that something he saw?
No, that was that's him. He took that up and read that. He decided to go there. So that wasn't something. Peavy's defense is good, and he decided he was going to go there, and there we go.
Now, of course, Jeff Cox talking about Peavy's defense. I noticed a little bit more on their offense. What did you see from their running game? That's what they're kind of known for.
It's what I didn't see from their running game. I saw very little Art Aguilar, and
No,
Mr. Cantrell.
Mr. Cantrell,
You
yeah.
know, he didn't play their entire first scrimmage. He didn't play on offense.
Interestingly enough, Santa
Carry-
Cruz
I
and
get a carry.
PV are playing each other in week 1.
Yeah.
So that may have had something to do with it.
What did Joe say about all this?
Well, I mean, I'm sure he didn't comment on that, but I'm sure they weren't showing much, and they weren't going all out and showing all the trick plays, if they have any, to Santa Cruz, who they play in now less than a week.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, I mean, they got some beef in the backfield with Cantrell and Art Aguilar. I did not know Art Aguilar was that big.
They're clones.
Yeah, Art Aguilar 5'9", 205, and Mr. Cantrell 5'10", 215. They do kind of similar, and then you got John Mason, who's the smaller, speedier type in the backfield. So they have plenty of weapons to go to in that backfield. We did catch up with Joe Gregorio, the head coach of PV, to talk about his expectations from this past Jamboree.
We wanted to get physical play, and I think we got that out of our offensive line, defensive line. We want to try some guys out on defensive back, so we rotated some guys in. Obviously they made mistakes, but the thing about Jamboree, it's a dress rehearsal. It's not the real thing. And last time I checked, winning the Jamboree isn't winning the league. So.
After seeing all the teams play, did anything change your mind on who's the front runner for the SECCL?
I mean, we've kind of always said Aptos, Scotts Valley.
Yeah.
They were the last two teams in the field at the Jamboree, and you kind of got the feeling that this could be the title game down the road.
Yeah.
Now, to say it's a two-team race at this point would be foolish.
Yes.
Absolutely foolish.
Yeah. Who else threw their hat in the rink? Ring. Excuse me. Not in the rink.
Hockey.
Yeah.
Who else threw there? I mean, I guess I was kind of pleasantly surprised with SoCal, I thought. And I guess it kind of based off of what I didn't know what to expect from them in the first place, just with what they lost last year.
Yeah. Well, no relation to Bob Seeger, but Ty Seeger, their big running back, busted out his night moves. And he went crazy, right? 65-yard run. Johnny Silva jumped in the scoring action.
The demographic we're going for is between like 18 and 35.
I just gave you a 40-year-old reference, or
Seriously.
a reference from a 40-year-old man. That's a 1980s reference.
Yeah, any Silver Bullet Band fans will understand that. Nobody else.
Sense of nickname coming up. Anyway, he did awesome. They're going to pound the ball with him all year long.
Yeah, and they
That's
had.
what I'm thinking anyway.
Yeah, they had a couple of guys. What I saw when they played. I think it was Johnny Silva had a couple of good runs.
He did. He scored.
Yeah, he did. He had a nice little lengthy run. So they had a couple of guys that stood out there. You mentioned Seeger, also Silva, and who else am I missing? Help me out.
For the Knights?
I think it was Joseph Cervantes had a nice little game as well.
They've been Fisher and Cervantes.
Daniel Fisher, yeah.
They're contenders too. SoCal's and.
Well, we've kind of mentioned it. We mentioned in the previews as well. Everyone's got a chance after we feel like Scotts Valley and Aptos might have set themselves apart preseason wise.
Yeah.
Everyone else has a chance. But again, I thought SoCal defensively, what I noticed though was they don't have a tremendous amount of size, but they gang tackle.
Okay.
They wrap up. They swarm to the ball. When you don't have size, you don't really need size if you can do that. You can stop opposing offenses that way. So I thought they did a kind of an impressive job with that early on from what I saw in the Jamboree. So.
I just thought this season might be kind of I want to say a bore, but I thought just a two-horse race between Aptos and Scotts Valley, and I was pleasantly surprised. I know that a lot of teams make up for shoddy defense and whatever, and no offensive line or the ability to run with an aerial attack. Mm-hmm. And several teams around here seem to be doing it quite well. And granted, it's just a Jamboree, but I'm thinking like maybe some games are going to be shootouts. Maybe they're going to be a lot more competitive than I envisioned, and I think that maybe this could be a super exciting season. Yeah, I'm kind of stoked after seeing all that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean a couple of you mentioned kind of the aerial stuff. Watching Scotts Valley a little bit. Jake Lobo going to the flat, maybe not airing it out, but going to the flat with Willie Johnson. Mm-hmm. That kid is fast. He can fly down that sideline. He's going to be a player to watch. And then Aptos. Aptos is going to keep it on the ground more or less. Keep it on the ground. But they're not going to shy away from the speed.
But just county-wise and to stray away from the SECL, PV's going to keep it on the ground. Yeah. SoCal's probably going to keep it on the ground, even though they're working on passing a lot. I think SOV likes to run a decent amount. Granted, you get what I'm saying? I mean, every team. So I just was pleasantly surprised that people just opened up to offense just and
Sure.
letting it all fly.
Yeah, and I mentioned Aptos. I mean, I think what they're going to be able to do offensively is, and we kind of break this down a little bit in their preview that's upcoming next week, but the quarterback, Alex Joe, will be kind of taking on a little more responsibility in the field and possibly calling some plays this season, which is going to allow them to run more plays on the field. Friday's Jamboree, you kind of saw how they just seemed way faster than last year already.
Yeah.
They get to the huddle, they break, they get to the line, and they snap the ball, and then they do it again in 15 seconds, it seemed like. And the tempo that they're running now is going to tire out some opposing defenses if the game progresses easily.
I hate covering them for the sheer fact is they're winding Bay County journalists.
Yeah.
I can't even keep up with them. Who had to carry, man? Thanks, Mr. Cravens. So, they're killing me. Their no huddle is just flat out awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's fun to watch.
It's a lot of fun to watch. It's going to be a pain to watch, of course.
And this season's going to be fun to watch.
But we're excited for the season. We can't talk about every team, but check out Jim Seimas' story online.
And
that's where it is.
Check out this guy touting all his
touting
videos.
And tweeting. Follow me on Twitter, @Matheson_SC. And
airing it out. Jim
yes.
Seimas at airing it.
We also have video play with a program called Tout. It's essentially like Instagram, except like way better. Like 10 times, 15 times better than Instagram. So check that out. I'm on Tout. He's on Tout.
I is.
And it's all on SantaCruzSentinel.com. And you can check out our football page as well.
On our Twitter account? Or no, on our Double Coverage app?
Double Coverage app.
There it is.
Holy cow. Like, how cool is that?
Exciting stuff.
That's already on Google Play, and it's going to be on the Apple App Store very shortly as soon as we're approved.
That way the coaches and players don't have to call us for scores under deadline. They can just check it out.
And they can just watch video when you're commuting on the subway to work.
Yeah, very cool. Good stuff. Awesome stuff. Tony Sleece is a mastermind, our producer of this show. Also got this thing done, so pretty awesome stuff.
Check it all out on football page at www.SantaCruzSentinel.com/football. We'll see you later.